So I went to a friend of mine. I remember the conversation. She was a close friend. And I told her that, listen, I'm thinking of quitting my job. And my friend, who was also very accomplished in her own field, she looks at me in a bit of surprise and a little bit of shock, and she tells me, are you crazy? What's wrong with you? Your next promotion is of a vice president. Why do you want to leave everything? You worked so hard, you've given 20 years to your career, and today you just get up one day and you say you want to quit your job. I looked at my friend and I told her, I think you're right, but I think I need a change. So mid 2019, I resigned. And 6 months into the business, where I was just exploring, should I become a sales consultant as my next 20, 30 years in the business, or should I move my industry and become like a trainer and a coach? And 6 months into dwelling back and forth as to what I need to do, a cold happened. That was also the time when I moved to Daman. New city, no connections, nothing. But that 1 year of COVID actually gave me a lot of time for self-reflection and introspection, where I started asking myself, where do I see myself next 20, 30 years? And I studied a lot. I did online trainings, I did certifications. My husband knows this because I was technically studying 4, 5, 6 hours a day. And I made my mind that I wanted to design a program for women. The initial thought was working women, because I come from a professional background. But now, of course, it's generic and it's for women. The pandemic is now, we are recovering from it. I got my company registered. I designed the program. I'm now meeting people in the market where I go and talk about what my program is all about. And whenever I meet people, whether it's Mumbai, Daman, Timbuktu or Vapi, I receive two kinds of reactions. There are one set of people who tell me, oh, it's a great initiative, Nahila, you'll do really well. You are a role model yourself. You've trained and groomed so many young girls and women in your career. Your program will really take off. And then there is another set who tells me, oh, women are not into self-development. They don't invest in themselves. कौन देगा आपके program के लिए पैसे? Women are not driven. They are not ambitious. This program will be a failure. And then there is a third set who make assumptions that I have designed this program because I'm very passionate about it. And probably there is not enough data that goes into my vision, which is actually not true. I come from a business background. I know how businesses are run. But because I look young, I'm ready to actually. People make assumptions very quickly. Hence I thought that I should share with you certain facts and figures as to what Project Udan is all about, what my vision is all about. Are you aware that there are close to 21% of small and medium enterprises that are run by women today? This is, hardcore real data. The last couple of years has seen a surge of startups. Close to 45% of them are women-led startups. There are close to 14 million women businesswomen who are giving jobs to 20 million people in India. And even then, we say women are not ambitious, they are not driven. Have you ever given it a thought, after the Modi government has come into play, why there is so much emphasis on child education, women empowerment? Why there are so many schemes like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, Niti Aayog Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Yojana? Have you ever given it a thought, why there is so much emphasis on women? Because a recent KPMG report recently submitted in the year 2020, which told that if you have only 10% increase of women in the labor force, India's GDP is likely to increase by $700 billion. Now this is data, this is statistics, it has got nothing to do with my passion, my vision, my experience. Now let me share with you some facts. The last 10 to 12 years has seen a surge of women-led startups. The most recent one and in news is Nykaa. Falguni Nair, she's already entered the 100 crore club. It's like a 10-11-year-old startup. We've got MobiKwik, Upasana Taku is a woman-led startup. Zimbabwe, which is an online lingerie website, it's a women-led startup. In spite of so much that women are doing, and the next 10 years, according to my analysis, is going to be dedicated to women entrepreneurs, we still have mindsets. I'm amazed when people tell me such things, that women are not ambitious, women are not driven, or women are not, very few women entrepreneurs are successful today. And maybe they are right, and I'm not challenging anybody here. But don't you think as entrepreneurs, it's our duty to bring about change, to create that awareness? Why does one become an entrepreneur? One of the main reasons people become entrepreneurs is because they love freedom. They want to work at their pace. They want to use their creativity. So the point I'm trying to drive here is that when I talk about skill sets, I'm not just talking about, go attend a training program. I'm talking about life skills. The question we need to ask here as women in this room, that how do you raise a confident child when you're not a confident mother? How do you raise your daughter who goes into a corporate world with her first job but she knows nothing about managerial skills and team building skills? How do you become successful as a businesswoman when you don't know selling skills, negotiation skills and presentation skills? So these are questions that we need to ask. And before I conclude my speech, I want to leave you with some food for thought, where I want you to go back home and challenge these mindsets and ask yourself some tough questions about the way we look at women, and be the catalyst as new age entrepreneurs towards this change and transformation. Thank you. I think I'm on point as far as time.
We'll ask some questions.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
So,
Please.
questions, please.
Why women very important for you?
My husband asked me this question. I think I came from a background which was very middle class. I have done multiple jobs. I have only shared with you a journey which looks very glamorous, but it's a journey which has a lot of hard work and self-development. I didn't become the #1 salesperson in my company by just, looking good and presenting well, but I know the skills to sell. So I did a lot of self-development on myself. And when I look at the young girls today, I am in a bit of a disappointment because they don't invest in themselves. And it's a bit of a cultural shock to me when I meet people in Vapi and how they talk about their daughters. I did a training program for NIFT here in Vapi, and most of the girls attending there said, "Abhi diploma mil jayega to abhi shaadi ho jayegi." And I'm not against anybody getting married. I'm married myself. But are we helping our daughters to become self-reliant, self-sufficient? You don't know what's coming next. Did anybody believe that we lose our jobs in COVID? Or, like Hardik said, he'll start writing. Or she moved from, becoming a event planner to becoming like an astrologer, or, the kind of work. Nobody knows. It's our job as parents to make our daughters as self-reliant as possible, so that tomorrow in terms of crisis, they are there as your back and support of their husbands, their spouses or their families. So yes, that's why women.
So can men attend this training program?
Oh yeah, a lot of people ask me this. I'm against men, this is not a gender bias thing. I'm more, my ideation is more towards women, because I was sharing with Hardik a couple of minutes back. At least, men will pick up a book. They will invest if it's important for them, like a training program. If you ask a woman today, go to the salon and spend 3,000 rupees on your nails, she will do it. Yeah. But tell her to spend 500 rupees she's in getting a selling skills book, she will not do it. Now, so I think that's the reason my target audience is women, and I want women to realize this importance. And whenever my husband, because he sees me being quite ambitious and I have a big vision, he constantly tells me, why do you study so much? Just chill. You've come to Daman, it's a great environment. Just sit at home, and chill and relax. And I keep telling him that I'm your DG because it's easy for him to understand that if electricity goes, at least the generator is there, to back you up. So we have this conversation at home. So I think as women, we are supporters to our spouses, to our parents as well sometimes. So if we don't develop ourselves, how will that support system work?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else?
No.
Yeah, I want to add in this because we just completed our event Startup Shah, and for that I'm just checking the data. If you are watching me, then I'm handing my phone and checking the database.
Sure.
So we got a 65% entries of women
Female entrepreneur.
Yeah, female entrepreneurs.
Sure.
And in the stage wise, when we go in the top 10, out of 10, 6 entries.
Females.
from the girls,
Top
yeah.
10.
Yeah, and this competition is specially designed to identify new entrepreneurs generation from the schools.
60% of females.
Yeah, and surprisingly, out of 3 winners, 2
Are females.
are females.
Yeah.
So yes,
Big data.
big data, actually
Big
big data. We almost touched 35 plus institute.
I have lots of data, so if I start talking about it, it's going to be a long session. But yeah, we'll chat and let's see how it
I
goes.
am so glad because every night also she is good eating.
Hey, stay there. Yeah, thank you, Jigar, for sharing that data.
Thank you.
So you are in the right city, right location.
Yeah.
No, in fact, you asked me this question when I met you, and I said, I'm not sure if I should focus on Bombay market because, people look at me, ye kahan se aa gayi hai, and how she talks. So, but you always encouraged me that, no, this is the market for you, like Vapi and Surat, and I think you do well here. So, let's see.
I think it's nascent, so it's a big opportunity. I say when people don't have anything, that's a big opportunity. If they know everything and then they come to you, there are ifs and buts. But
No,
it's a nascent thing.
you may feel that I have a training program with KPMG on 21st where I am training 20 middle-aged women who have been, in the company for 10, 15 years. The HR called me and she said, I want you to deliver a training. And I asked what the candidates all about. They said, "Sab thak gaye. 15 saal ho gaye sabko company mein." And they are as if they are like furniture. We can't move them because they've spent so many years. But they actually feel that they're completely finished. Their life has finished, and they're all 45, missing on self-worth, and they probably feel bade ho gaye, and now we have nothing to do, and यहाँ पे है अभी जब तक का salary मिल रही है तब तक का retirement यहीं पर है. So I have a program with them on high self-worth. So there are lots of issues. It's just about identifying them and then coming out and talking about them. So now KPMG is of course a very progressive company. They recognize that there is an issue there, and they call you for a training. But these issues are there everywhere. I have my own issues. Ask my husband; he'll tell you hundreds. But I try to develop myself and educate myself. I try to work on myself.
2 more things I want to ask. So where do we see your program in future? How do you see the impact happening in?
See, like I said, because Prukshit is asking me, I'm looking at collaborating with somebody in Vapi, where the person knows the market very well and helps me promote my program socially within the circle, and I will deliver the content, and the delivery, of course. So I don't know this market really well. I'm quite new. I don't know how the market operates. I think Gujarati is also a very, like you mentioned, is a very important language here. And of course, I don't know much of Gujarati. But I did a program, like I said, in
But
Vapi.
it has changed now. It was 20 years back when I shifted to Vapi, but everything has changed.
So my programs are open, Prukshit. I shared the details with you. I don't have currently an office as such. Most of my programs during COVID were happening online. But of course, if I have 4 or 5 students, an office will happen, everything will happen. So it's about getting people, women especially, engaging them and recognizing that, this program is important for them.
So who all are actually you targeting, and where you can add value? That is
So
more
students,
important.
And age also.
Yeah, that is what I wanted.
Students, when you look at girls, I'm targeting women, so girls, young girls. How does a woman, when she enters the job market, does she know about interview skills? Does she know about grooming? Does she know about her body language? Does she know about presentation skills? If questions are asked, I will give them ready-made questions. मुझे पता है 20 साल में कि यही 4-5 questions interviewers पूछते हैं, इसके ready-made जवाब भी दूंगी मैं. So it's one of the skills that I teach students. Now for working women, if you're already working and you've been in the business for 2-3 years and now you want to reach a little higher level, you want a higher position, you want a higher salary, then you have to learn leadership skills, then you have to learn managerial skills. Conflict management is a big thing at workplace. I have seen in my career so many women leaving their jobs because they couldn't handle their boss. And it's not that men don't face this, but women face it at a much larger scale. So conflict management at work. In fact, I also have a session which says, how do you deal with a difficult boss? Okay, and then you have for women entrepreneurs, because the basic skills for any business is selling skills, negotiation skills, and presentation skills. If you don't know these 3 skills, how can you run a business? Unless you're very rich and you hire somebody, who takes care of all these 3 things, then it's different. But if you're a startup and you're just getting into the business, these are 2-3 skills that are important for women entrepreneurs.
And what about females who have established an organization or a company, and can you add value to them?
Of course, leadership skills, team building skills, conflict management skills. I have a lot of things. How to handle a difficult boss. Emotional intelligence is a big thing at workplace today. Vapi mein mujhe nahi pata, but I have seen trainers in Mumbai giving paid highly on emotional intelligence. Because especially women, although we say that our EQ is much higher, but when it comes to workplace, thoda boss ne kuch bol diya, kuch manager ke saath, we start crying sometimes, or we leave our jobs. We can't handle, strong environments, because emotionally, although we are developed, but we can't face that at a workplace. So how to develop emotional intelligence at workplace is the key. It's a very important thing in business today. I have been in an environment which was completely male dominated.
Hostile.
Hostile. Yeah, hostile, correct. And I have had so many issues with my bosses. Ask me. But hadn't I not had high emotional intelligence, I don't think I would be standing here and talking to you and talking about what I'm doing. It's a key thing in business or as a professional.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Hi, it's Alek from dinner. And I want we are in the meeting with a group photograph. Before that, all the speakers should come. We'll take a photograph as our memory with the poster. And yeah, anything else anyone wants to share, please rise and you can share in brief. Anything about today's event. It can be a feedback. It can be about the speaker. जिन्होंने नहीं बोला है उसको बोलना चाहिए. Anything. Shruti, you want to say, add something? Yeah, please.
Yeah, so first of all, it's been really wonderful. We've been there with startup since long, and the COVID actually distanced us, and then coming back into this format again. So nice to push it. Whatever high lows you've had, I mean, we have to be on the high. You have to keep this going because we really want to be a part of it.
I always start with you and energetic people like Nahila. She told me that this is good plan. Chalo bhai, aur aage jaye.
So it's really been nice and a wonderful initiative of first of all the Startup Star. I think that will do wonders, and looking at the feedback that we just got from Jigar, so I mean women empowerment, women are very empowered. They have a lot of power. It's just a matter of time. And you are really providing them the right platform, for them to really take off. So really wonderful, and make this a regular format. So
Yeah, it is a
I would
regular
really like to, be there time on time.
Yeah. you. So all the 18 events are planned. It is in the schedule. Yeah, every month 2 events with a gap of 15 days with different themes. And open mic will also happen 3 months down the line where we have 3 more speakers with a different topic. So wonderfully designed by Ethel this year. And Ethel, you want to share it is your first event today?
Yeah, definitely,
Please,
I would.
please. Our first event. And from next meeting, all these formalities you will have to do.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I can see a lot of excitement, a lot of smiles on the faces. I can see that the number of people doesn't matter over here.
Doesn't matter.
I was just wondering when I was getting the confirmation list from the guests that okay, how is it going to happen and what the speakers are going to feel, but yeah, it was amazing. So